The reaction is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our new premiere of our newest Monday show, The Reaction, where we give our reaction as well as you have the opportunity to use the call-in number, call in and give your reaction on whatever the hell it is sports-related you want to talk about. Is it NFL, hockey, football, soccer, MMA, boxing, what have you. We're going to touch on the biggest sports news topics from around the country and around the world. We're going to have special call-in co-hosts, special on-screen co-hosts, as we have one planned for tonight as well in the second half of the show. But we do ultimately want to open it up to you. I'm on here every other night of the week giving my reaction. It's your opportunity to give yours if you would like to use the phone lines. I'll open it up to anybody. And as always, make sure you bring the fire, because this is a sports call-in show with no boundaries. I speak my mind, you speak yours. Anybody can call in. You see the number, dial it. Anytime you want, the entire show, even when we have guests on, the phone lines are always open. Myself and the guests will take your calls, and well.
Hello.
What's up? You're on The Reaction. This is the commish. Speak your mind.
Commish, this is Hot Neil, man. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Hot Neil? How's it going, my man? What's on your mind?
Man, I'm pissed off how we're playing, man.
Well, you and the entire Raider Nation is pissed off how we're playing. Well, what are you pissed off about most, Hot Neil? Are you pissed off about the teardown, the players, the execution on the field? What pisses you off the most?
Gruden. That's the one who gets me pissed off the most.
Gruden. What? What gets you pissed off the most?
He doesn't know how to call the plays, and he doesn't have communication with the players. So he's not doing nothing.
Do you feel he needs to work his process? Or do you just think he's got no clue as to what he's doing?
I think he doesn't have no clue because in 1990s, he didn't even bring us to the Super Bowl or one ring at least. That's what gets me pissed off. The guy doesn't know what he's doing.
All right. Anything else? Anything else?
Yeah, Ruben should be working in Paulus as a back boy, not a coach no more.
All right. There you go. Hot Neil with the hot take. He's got Gruden as a bag boy. And I ran a poll earlier on the Raider Reaction page as to who we thought. Thank you for calling, Hot Neil. Appreciate you calling in. Anybody else who wants to jump in on the phone lines? Phone lines are open. Numbers right across the bottom. It's open to anybody. Like it says right there. We're rated MA. There is no boundaries with this sports call-in show. So whatever you got, whatever you want to get off your mind, whatever direction you want to go. Thanks for calling in, Hot Neil. Hot Neil's pissed off. Says Gruden should be bagging groceries. He says he's past his prime. He's not what he used to be. So we ran a poll earlier on the page asking where do you place the blame for where we're at in 2018? Do you place it with Mark Davis? Do you place it with Derek Carr? Do you place it with John Gruden, or do you place it with Reggie McKenzie? And there was a splattering of Derek Carr, although I don't know how you pin the entire 18 season on any one player. But it mostly was split down the middle between John Gruden and Mark Davis as to who holds the blame for where we're at in 2018. Of course, Reggie McKenzie had a little splattering in there as well, but it seemed like the majority. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. Anybody wants to call in? Go ahead and call in. Hit the number down there. Yeah, come on. It's 2018. You ain't got to worry about those long distance charges no more. Hold on. All right, bear with me. Let me get you connected here. What's up? You're on Raider Reaction. This is the Commish. Speak your mind.
Hey, what's up, Commish? This is Ariel coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Ariel? Home of the future home of the Raiders.
Yeah, just calling out, seeing what's up, man. Finally had a day off. Finally been able to tune in to the show, and just want to give a quick update on what's going on out here in Vegas.
Oh, let's hear it.
Stadium is blowing up really fast. The structure beams are going up very, very fast. I will try to get out there sometime next week, probably next Monday. And I just got a lot of things going on right now with the restaurant and, family stuff. But I'm going to go out there and next Monday and I'll shoot some videos and I'll do them live on Raider Reaction. And I just want to apologize to everybody, in case the people that are listening to your video. The reason why, I want to make it clear that I stopped doing the videos, nothing that I have against Raider Reaction Commission, nothing. I've been really busy with
well, yeah, you got
Vegas.
He's got a cracking restaurant going out in Vegas. You're the executive chef, correct? Now, haven't you been?
I just got promoted to executive chef. Not the way I wanted to get promoted, but nevertheless, I just got promoted to executive chef.
Yeah, congratulations. So he's a busy man, but that would be great. We'd all love to have some more of the live videos from Ground Zero. That's for sure. I love seeing those as well. Man, watch that thing come out of the ground is a beautiful sight. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I pass by there all the time. I just, on the freeway, you can actually see it off of the 15 freeway. And you can see like the structure being, it's really looking like a stadium now. And the outer structure, you got the outer structure beams, but you also see the foundation for where the bleacher seats are gonna go. So it's blowing up, man. It's blowing up. It's a beautiful thing, man. I gotta bring that out live to you guys, man. I'll do that on Monday. And but yeah, I just want to follow up on Haniel's little rant, man.
Heck yeah.
Like with what's going on with the Raiders, I know we all hate it. I don't know what the hell. I don't know if this was by design. I don't know what's going on.
I'm still on the theory. I don't know. The jury's out for me whether this was by design or not, or if the shit went really bad and we're just playing it off like, oh yeah, we knew, yeah, we're rebuilding. We're rebuilding, or the shit just blew up in your face. One or the other, yeah. Or a little bit of both.
Well, yeah, because I see the same thing happening with the Bucks, where he had a Super Bowl caliber team and he dismantled it, and obviously there was other issues, why they had to dismantle the Bucks. But I tell a lot of people, Gruden did not build the Raiders, man. That Super Bowl team. Yes, he had some input. He had a little bit of influence, but at the end of the day, if anybody really knows their history, knows how Al Davis was, being the general manager, he had his hand in everything. He had his hand in the coaching staff, players, personnel.
100%.
So, and to see what he did in Tampa Bay, and I see it happening again, and like I said, I don't know, man. I mean, it's really bad, man. It's really, I mean,
this has been, Ariel, this is one of the worst seasons I've ever sat through as a Raiders fan. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, and there's been some bad football. We've sat through some bad football before, but it's mostly been because we didn't have the talent, not because there was of the lack of effort and just the no heart. And it's just hard to watch. These last few games have just been really hard to watch.
I mean, to see like Jordy Nelson retiring and people saying, man, I gotta get.
I haven't seen that that's official yet. I've seen all the rumors. I've heard about it for 24 hours now, but I have not seen any official confirmation or any official story that he has actually retired, or that there's any credence to that. But the rumors are still flying all over.
But at this point, bro, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, and you know what?
Usually.
I didn't want to believe that they were going to trade Mac. Mac got traded. I didn't want to believe that they were going to trade Cooper, and they traded Cooper. So, I mean, nothing will really surprise me at this point with this team, with the way it's being ran, with players being set up. I don't know what's going on in the locker room. I don't know, man, but it's just crazy, man. It's insane.
Well, anything else you want to get off your chest, Ariel, while we got you on? I'm gonna jump off. Let's see if somebody else wants to jump on. And man, I want get us some more footage out there at Vegas, though.
Yeah, I will. So, I'll do it on Monday. I don't know if I'm still as an admin, but I'll do it on Monday, Monday afternoon. So, I'll hit you up privately about that, and then we'll go ahead and do it. So, if you guys are watching or listening, come Monday, I'm gonna go live. Next week on Monday, I'm gonna go live at the stadium so you guys can see the beautiful stadium, how it's coming along. All right, bro. Well, I'll talk to you later, man. Much love and respect. I love you guys. I miss you guys very much, man.
Oh man, stay in touch, man. Congrats on the promotion, and hopefully we'll get to celebrate a win here one of these days. But
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks, Ariel, for calling in. Phone line's open if anybody else wants to jump on. Like I said, this is our new Monday show, The Reaction. Open to all formats, all sports, anything you want to get off your mind. As always, Tuesday is a solid hour of everything silver and black, a solid 60 minutes. Hold on. What's up? You're on the reaction. This is the commish. All right. Gruden? All right. Well. Well, Joseph got his. Oh, hold on. You have to speak up a little bit. We're having a hard time hearing you. Hold on. Can you speak up a little?
Okay. I agree with you. I think Carl Joseph played pretty good this week.
Oh, there we go.
Nelson and Doug Martin, they got to go.
There we go. We got you. Sorry. We got you.
And then two players are just old and over the hill. We need to draft. We got so many holes. We need to draft the best available player. Period. Preferably defense.
Well, it was nice that, like I'd mentioned, sorry with the little technical difficulties at the beginning of the call. It's our first one. We're working out the bugs. But I used to do a call-in show a long time ago. Those of you that remember, the After Hours, yeah, I did this shit a long time ago. Somebody started this a long time ago. Let's remember that.
Well, Captain Jack's trying to keep it going now. He does a good job.
Well, this is an all sports format. Captain Jack does his thing, and I'm not trying to steal any of Captain Jack's thunder. That's why this is on a Monday. Don't anybody else do nothing on a Monday, so don't nobody get your panties in a wad.
Screw if they don't like it. But I just want to thank you for all the stuff you do for the Raider Nation. You keep us informed. I love your show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Somebody else on. But you're already up here in Virginia. I mean, sometimes I wait in the morning and I'll get your little thing and play it, and I'm using your opening as a ringtone.
Ha ha! That's awesome. That's badass. I'm flattered. Well, Hector should be flattered. Mr. Hector Hernandez. That's his awesome guitar riff on there.
It is. It is awesome. And is Joe a real person?
Somewhat.
All right.
He is a gentleman and a scholar.
Nice to talk to you. Keep up the good work.
All right, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, yes, of course the phone lines are jammed. What do you think? I got a team of operators here working the phone lines? If somebody's on the phone, that means it's busy. Come on now. Now, if you want to, phone lines open. If you want to call in, call in. Otherwise, we're going to move on to another topic. Now, as I was saying, I ran a poll on the page. It seemed like unanimously, you've got a splatter into people wanting to blame your quarterback because, somebody's always going to want to blame the quarterback. You got a splatter into people wanting to blame the GM, but it seems like the majority of the blame is seeming to want to be placed on Mark Davis and John Gruden. Now, Mark Davis obviously brought in John Gruden. You're on Raider Reaction. This is the commish. What's up? Speak your mind.
What's going on, man? What's going on, commish? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, my man? Who we got here?
Yeah, man, I just want to talk to you about something, man, because I'm not expecting us to be 1-8 this season, man. I was not
Who
expecting
was?
it.
Who was? Not me.
I know you were, but, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, Mark, you know what I heard on ESPN? Mark Davis is taking the blame. Now, do you believe that though, or not? Have you heard anything about
No,
that? Or what?
I have heard that, and the stories are all over. I've got several of them posted up to the page from several different credible news sources. Sports Illustrated was one of them. I think posted one from ESPN as well. So it is a pretty credible report. Mark Davis has kind of stepped forward and said he takes the blame. He's the owner. Anything that was put together, obviously he's signed off on. But to an extent, he obviously brought in John Gruden as the guru that's supposed to know everything. So you got to put some blame on him as well. He hired the guy, but he's kind of stepped back, I'm sure, and let Gruden call the shots.
But do you blame Gruden for all these things? I mean, he kind of did mess up a little bit, I will say, but I don't really blame him. I'm not taking shots at him like other Raider fans are too.
Well,
I'm not the type because
I don't want to. I think he planned to tear down the team a little bit and remove guys from the roster to free up money because he had a long-term plan. But what I don't think is they expected the bottom to completely fall out. I think they thought they could keep it somewhat intact, have somewhat of a mediocre season, and then go into next offseason and do a full retooling. I don't think they expected the bottom to fall out like it has.
Nah. I can guarantee you this. Who knows what we're going to be looking like next season? What do you see about next season? You think we'll go 1-8? Because I don't see that.
No. We've got a talented team. What my big question is coming into the offseason is what kind of teardown and rebuild is going to continue. That's probably my biggest question. Is how far are we carrying this? Is this just phase 1? And then there's phase 2 to this yet that we're yet to see.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know, man, because I think Gruden's going to draft some players. I already know the draft. I'm not too worried about the draft. I see us going after offensive line and basically defense. What QBs are coming out of 2019 draft? Do you know? Because I don't know.
No, there's no QBs we want that are. There's no franchise quarterbacks coming out in next year's draft that we're going to be interested in. It's a weak offensive draft. It's defensively we'll be all right, but I don't know. We've got so many. Where are we going to go? Because I honestly don't think we see Marshawn Lynch next season. I think he's done at the end of the year because I don't think we're in Oakland next year, and he's not going to play if we're not in Oakland. So we need a running back. We need a wide receiver.
Yeah, we're going to draft that. What about O-line?
We need that. We need defensive line. We need linebacker. We probably still need corner. We got a lot of draft picks, but that's asking a whole lot out of one draft class.
Yeah. Tell your buddy T-Bags at Dallas fan, congratulations. They beat the Super Bowl champs, though, my man.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's happy.
Yeah, he is. I'm sure he is a happy camper.
Man, I can't believe you live in Tampa Bay, my man. You living out there with a team that beat us, Gruden won a Super Bowl.
I am as deep behind the enemy line as you can get. That's so. That's the mantra, and I own it. That was the first thing I said when I found out we were moving here. Was that's the first thing I said to my wife. It's like, Jesus Christ, there of all places. Because it was just a total crapshoot. It was for work. It wasn't predetermined. But
don't let them Tampa Bay fans harass you like that, man.
Screw those guys. Fake ass Pirates. They don't bother me at all. They can have that one little piece of gold because that's the only damn thing they're ever gonna see.
Yeah. Hey, another thing, man. Don't be living out in no Pittsburgh with them Steelers fans, man. You better stay away from that black and yellow, man.
Man, I don't want to move there. That's too cold.
I don't know who we're gonna beat, but I think we're gonna beat the Cardinals. That's got to be a must-win game. I'm sorry to say this, man. Y'all might sound crazy, but I don't know.
I think I don't even. Is there a must-win game anymore, or we just must lose them all at this point? Because right now, with what's I don't even know what's the score going on in the. Hold on, let me pop it up. I had it on the window here. The score for the. Oh, you got a 20-20 tie in the. In the Giants and the 49ers game right now. So if the Giants happen to pull that out, hell, all of a sudden we're in the driver's seat for the #1 pick. So maybe we don't want to win any.
Yeah, but I know I told Captain Jack we're gonna smash on the Steelers. You know, I like giving them Steelers fans a hard time when we play them, though. So you know.
Oh man, I hate the Steelers. They're one of my most hated teams by far. I can't stand the Steelers.
You know what's crazy though? Every time they play New England, I'll root for the Steelers. That's the crazy part. I don't like the Patriots either, and I can't stand them more than the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers is our rival, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I hate both those teams.
Yeah, I mean, I know you probably don't root for them, but you know what? I looked at the Steelers' schedule. They still got a rematch after us against New England again.
Yep.
Yeah, so. All right, my man, nice talking to you.
You bet, man. Thank you for jumping on. We appreciate it. Let's open up the phone line here. We'll see who we got here next on the agenda. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you, everybody, who's been jumping on. Hold on. We got somebody else. My goodness gracious. Hold on. You're on the reaction with the commish. What's up? Speak your mind. Speak your mind.
What's going on, man? It's KT just calling to bring a little enjoyment to the show. Talk about the Chargers a little bit.
Oh, you mean these guys? These guys on the kiddie table right here? These guys right here?
Kiddie table? Well, the guys from the kiddie table just sat you guys down.
Well,
there's not much you can say. I just want to talk
you
about Anthony Lynn is doing, what Phillip Rivers is doing, what Melvin Gordon is doing.
Get us this week, and well, you did get us. Yeah. Well, what can I say? This season
the season's horrible for you guys, so we can just bring some happiness to the show for a minute. Let's talk about Anthony Lynn, the job he's doing, the cultures he's brought to the.
Well, I have to.
We're winning all the games that we used to lose. That's what people don't understand. I don't care if we beat a bunch of teams that are under 500. It's the fact that these are games that the Chargers used to lose, and they're winning now.
They are winning. But let me ask, the only thing that matters, though, is playoff wins, which is something that has escaped this franchise, has been the big playoff wins. So that's where you got to kind of put that, on the horizon as your ultimate goal, because the Chargers have had success making the playoffs in the past. They owned the AFC West for damn near a decade through the LaDainian Tomlinson era, obviously. I hated that goddamn era, and I hated him with a passion. But
yeah, of course, LT was a Raider killer, so that's perfectly understandable. But yeah, at the end of the day, the season will be a wash if we get to the playoffs and don't make anything happen. It's just the point is you still have to get there.
True.
And
getting there.
The way we're playing right now is the best way for Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, he's not a guy around now. He's not a guy right now who needs to be out there going for 350, 400 a game. I'm perfectly happy with him going for 260, 2 touchdowns, and us killing it on the ground. It's as close to the motto as we had at those in the 2000s, with him actually being a smarter quarterback at this time.
Listen. Just sitting here and having this positive talk about Phillip Rivers is starting to make me sick to my stomach. I don't know how much more I can take of it, Cap. I appreciate you calling in, but I'm gonna have to send you packing. I'm sorry. I can only so much I can take. I'm already somewhat upset. Stomach still from yesterday's game, and come on, it's only so much I can take. Oh, let me open up the phone line. If anybody else would like to call in, anything you want to talk about? You want to talk about Raider Nation? Oh. Thanks for calling in, though, Kevin. You're always a good sport, man. You're always a good sport. Because, the league is made without 31 other teams, there would be no league. That's why we got the backdrop for the reaction. Without the 31 other teams, there would be no league. So, it is what it is. So, if anybody else wants to jump in, phone lines are open. Numbers at the bottom. Let me see. Prime. Hit me up. Phone lines are open. All right, let's move on. So, it was a very interesting week in general in the NFL, as there was some, hold on, we got a big play alert here. Into the third, so you're going into the fourth tied. Man, if the Giants take this down. Kevin, didn't you see the post? We've suspended Meme Monday. We've suspended Meme Monday contest for the rest of the season because, quite frankly, it's just not that easy to really talk smack when your team's 1-8. So, I can do it, but I have no problem. But we've suspended the Meme Monday contest, although you should get an honorable mention for your meme you threw in there, because that was great. I ain't gonna lie. But, no, we suspended the Meme Monday contest, so we'll kick it back up again next season, but no more Meme Monday contest. And we suck too bad for Meme Monday. It's unfortunate, but how can we have a whole contest with us talking shit about some other team when we're the team everybody's talking shit about? It's a sad reality. But it's reality nonetheless. And, we don't sugarcoat anything. We deal with it, but... Alright, so we just lost our guest for the show, so phone lines are completely open. I traded Meme Monday for a first-round pick in the 2020 draft and a player to be named later. We'll name that player later. No. So, phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, call in. We are open to anything you want to talk about, sports related, what have you. As you see, cross the Rams out. Of course, when you tune back in Tuesday, it will be the same as it always is. The Raider Nation Report with yours truly. A solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. Wednesday will still be Ghost of the Post with Prime and the Commish, as Prime will join me as we will rip through all of our picks for the upcoming week. And then Thursday, well, we'll see. Friday, of course, is always Black Friday, where we will be back to our No More Shenanigans, and we will be showing a classic game, Raiders-Cardinals, this Friday in its entirety. So make sure you tune in as a blast from the past of some Raiders-Cardinals history on a Black Friday Silver and Black Theater. Is Jordy really retiring? Moses, I've heard rumors for the last 24 hours, and no rumors have been confirmed yet. I've heard several reporters reported last night that a veteran player, nobody named the name, but supposedly there was a cluster of reporters. He walked by saying, I need to get the fuck out of here. That could mean anything. Did he need, is his nanny having a point, it could have been anything. Kid sick, wife bitching at him, could have been anything. And then you start to hear the rumors of Jordy Nelson said he was going to retire. All the rumors said that was going to happen today. That was not confirmed today. No actual confirmation from any credible news source, any credible sports news outlet. The only ones you've seen were, we found a story on Heavy.com and Daily Snark and some, no credible sites. It's rumor mill at this point, but if you haven't learned from this offseason, Raider Nation, if you haven't learned, where there's smoke, there's typically fire, and if you're hearing this rumor, there's something going on. Jordy's obviously not happy. How the hell could he be? He came over from, what some people are calling one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We had an unbelievable relationship with, and he coming to this. My honest opinion of Carr. Jason pulls no punches. Phone lines are open. Numbers right there across the bottom of the screen. Anything you want. This is a sports call-in show with no boundaries. Speak your mind. Say what you will. Call me an asshole. I don't really care. I'll just call you one back. my honest opinion of Derek Carr. Nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy in the world. Can't say a bad thing about him. He's the kind of guy that you would like to see as your franchise quarterback. You want to root for the guy. You can't find a bad thing. You can go Google his ass. Comb the internet. You're not going to find anything bad on this guy whatsoever. He's squeaky clean. But when you're an NFL quarterback, basically a CEO of a violent sport on the field, is that what you want? Is Mr. Squeaky clean? He hasn't had the protection that he's had in years prior. But other quarterbacks don't either. And they make things happen. They don't make some of the bad decisions that Carr's made this year. I still feel he's taken somewhat of a regression this season. Really do. But I'm not ready to count him out yet. And I'm not ready to give up on Derek Carr. But Derek Carr right now is firmly planted in the middle of an audition for John Gruden. And the audition hasn't looked good. Which leads me back to what we talked about earlier. Is there a phase 2 to this teardown and rebuild? Is there a phase 2? Because if you look at the guys who are only on one-year contracts, who have contracts that are up at the end of the year, you look at guys right now, out of the starters that are starting currently, as of this week, only 12 are under contract to return next season. That means almost a complete half your starters are gone. That's not even to mention the laundry list of guys throughout the rest of the 53-man roster. So this will be a complete upheaval again, much like this season was. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. But it was a crazy week overall in the NFL in general. As you had, Pittsburgh absolutely destroyed freaking Carolina. I did not see that coming. I actually picked Pittsburgh to win the game, but I didn't see that freight training coming at all. Did not see that coming at all. Anybody who watched the Chicago game unfortunately seen 52 do what 52 does. Unfortunately, he's doing it in somebody else's jersey now, which just sucks to watch. He's still one of my individual defensive players on my fantasy football team. So at least when he does something good, he's scoring points for the Silver and Black attack. So that's the only thing that gets me by. Gets me by on that. I actually picked Cincinnati to beat New Orleans at home. I thought at home Andy Dalton was going to have a big game. Man, was I freaking wrong on that one. Drew Brees broke it off in the Bengals defense. Kind of like Sean Payton broke it off on the fire alarm. If you guys haven't seen the video of that, go Google that shit. Sean Payton went ballistic and destroyed a fire alarm that was apparently interrupting his preparations. He wasn't having that shit. He went in on that thing and took care of business. The Falcons continue to, I hear all this shit about how Julio Jones is the best wide receiver in the league because he just went over the 10,000 yard mark, the quickest receiver to do so. And man, he's got 2 touchdowns. He just got his second one for the season. He's like a Dan Marino of wide receivers. He's great statistically, but I can't give him that you're the best in the league. I just can't. I'd put Antonio Brown ahead of him because at least Antonio Brown's got it done in big games. If you want to be the GOAT of anything, and you ain't got jewelry, I have a hard time calling you the GOAT. I really do. Final four of the AFC. Who's my final four of the AFC? Well, it's gotten really interesting here lately. But I think you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you got a solid 3 front runners with New England, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City. And then you've got this second tier where the Chargers could be in there. The Titans are looking like a team who's starting to get something possibly going. And you just don't know about the Texans, kind of like the Bengals as well. Who's going to take the AFC South? Is it going to be the resurgent Titans, or are the Texans going to be able to keep going with what they got? So I think that fourth team is the one you're still in question about, but I think Steelers, Chiefs, Patriots seem to be your 3 front runners with that fourth team in the AFC South. Still kind of up in the air with who's really stepped forth, but the Bengals are only they're game and a half behind Pittsburgh. Trade Carr for a pick and rely on a rookie to run the team. No, I don't think that. I don't want to do that. Now, I did see some people that have mentioned, asked last night, do we think A.J. McCarron should get the start next game? And interesting arguments I can make for that. You would like to see what he can do, but like I said earlier, I believe Carr is really auditioning for John Gruden, and I think he needs more of a sample size to make his case to be the quarterback going forward. I don't think he wants to make his case on what he's laid out there thus far. So I would like to see Carr. I'd like to see Carr go out and get a win here in Arizona, and get a little feel good mojo going for the fan base. This is a winnable game. Arizona's a bad team. I'd like to see him start Carr and see him go out there and win. So we'll see. Should we go after Le'Veon Bell? Joseph, should we go after Le'Veon Bell? All right. Numbers right there. Got 15 minutes left of the show. If you want to call in, taking all callers. If anybody wants to call in, taking all callers. Call in. Speak your mind. No boundaries. Sports call-in show. Talk about whatever you want. Baseball. You want to call in? Tell me how bad LeBron sucks. Whatever. We can. Le'Veon Bell. Oh, he's the shiny new toy that's out there. No, I do not think the Raiders should go after Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is not a team guy. Le'Veon Bell is a me guy. I think with the rebuild that we've got going on, I don't think you bring that type of guy into your locker room. Sure, he's a talented guy. Absolutely. But I want somebody who wants to be part of the team. Well, I don't think he sucks either, Mark Anthony. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to call in and say that he does, I'll gladly argue with him. I don't think he sucks either. I think that dude gets one of the worst raps in sports, man. LeBron gets so much hate, and he's brought some of it on himself with that, that stupid ass, the decision, that was dumb. Made him look like a fucking egomaniac. That was a bad idea. But Fitzmagic. Well, he's got the start over famous Jameis now. He's probably going to keep it. They said he's going to start again this week. So if you're rolling with Fitzmagic in fantasy, he's due to crack off a big game, I would say, this week, because he didn't have one last week, and that dude usually doesn't have 2 bad games in a row. So if I had him in fantasy, I'd roll the dice and start old Fitzy. That dude's got he's got 400-yard games in his back pocket, and he'll sling them out at any time. Just ask him. He'll drop one on you. All right, throw it up there. Phone line's right there across the bottom. If anybody wants to call in. Oh, we got somebody calling in. What's up? Who we got here? What's up? You're on the reaction. This is the commish. Speak your mind.
Hey, what's up, commish? So everyone's talking about all these shiny new toys, trying to look into next offseason. with all these reports coming out, who's going to sign for the Raiders? I mean, everybody wants that paycheck. Al Davis paid all his players, but who wants to play for a guy that no one has heart for, you know?
Yeah, it's a very interesting time right now in the Raider Nation. That's for darn sure. Because you wonder what it's got to be like and what the mentality is inside the locker room when you see all these guys exiting. You know nobody's happy. Nobody's happy at 1-8, and you don't even know if the guy in the locker next to you is going to be there tomorrow. It's a strange time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you think about earlier in the decade, like I said, everybody knew. You go to Oakland for a big final payday. You know, look at Randy Moss.
Yep.
Came for that payday and did garbage for us.
Warren Sapp.
You know?
Warren Sapp was another.
The list goes on.
Yep.
What kind of future does that, does Gruden offer us? You know, we can't rely on his drafting. Look at his draft history.
It's not good. It's not good. It hasn't been good. It really hasn't. He tried to build the team in Tampa. He tried to tear down Dungy's team and build the team in his own image, just like he's trying to do now, and he failed. So we got to sit back and see what happens. That's all we can do now. I mean, we're at the mercy of John Gruden's freaking master plan or whatever he's got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's either somehow he fools us all and pulls it off, or just like Jeff Fisher with the Rams, takes us to Vegas a year in and then he's gone.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think? Mario brought up a point. What do you think about his picks that he drafted for this year? What do you think about those guys so far? His first draft class. You got Mo Hurst, Arden Key.
I mean, I like Arden Key. I like Mo Hurst. I think that the corner we drafted, I think he's a good slot corner. I mean, obviously needs time to develop. Not a huge fan of the two tackles though. I think we reached for him. Should have gotten that safety. The Chargers drafted out of Florida State, or should have gone after that linebacker ended up going to Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, first round was a bust, but we'll see. I mean, the man tells his own, periodically, but not enough for that first round tag.
No, it's going to be interesting because it's looking like there's a good possibility we're going to have the first or second overall pick. We're also looking like possibly we could be up in maybe a later in the top 10 as well, depending on how Dallas shakes out, because they're still iffy, even though they did win last night. They're still iffy. And the Bears are the only ones that seem to be screwing up our plan because they're doing too damn good. They're doing way better than they should be doing. Because if we could got them, but we're gonna have two fairly high draft picks, and there's a possibility you deal one of those, drop back, and turn that into a few more picks. I got a feeling they're gonna do something with one of those first round picks.
I think if we get the first overall pick, I think we should trade back. Nick Bosa already has health injuries. The fact that he doesn't want to continue playing for his team shows that he has no heart. I mean,
I agree. I'm glad you said that. I agree with you on that. I'm not sold on Bosa. I know some people, man, every time I mention draft, there's a whole bunch of comments. Oh, Bosa. He's all, we need Bosa. I'm not sold on him 100%. I think the same thing.
Not being with the team, no heart, man. I mean, I get it. You're looking at the big picture going forward, want to be healthy, but, hey, man, you signed up. He wasn't thinking that when he got that scholarship. So I think we get the first overall. I think we should trade down. I'm not saying get rid of a first round pick overall. Just trade down, get some equity going forward, get the best player available. There's a lot of defensive guys that are going to be out there. I like that linebacker out of LSU. So there's talent. It's just.
Man, we really need a wide receiver. We need a solid number one wide receiver. I mean, we are so beat up right now. I don't even know what we're fielding for next week at this point. The rumors are out that Martavius Bryant's got some major injuries. The rumors are out. Jordy Nelson's ready to retire. You know, and Andy's banged up as well. It's not good. Brandon LaFell got banged up. We're a mash unit. Not only are we bad, we're not doing well injury wise.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't overpay in free agency and we don't overreach in the draft, be a little conservative. I mean, at the end of the day, going forward, regardless whether we like it or not, Gruden's got a 10-year contract. I think he just needs to play conservative. Don't reach. You know, take the best available, fill the holes we got, and build forward. I mean, look at the Rams.
Yeah.
You know?
The Rams turned it around quick. That's why I keep hearing trust the process. It's a couple years. You don't need a couple years. You see these guys turning things around quick in the day of free agency. You bring in a couple big name free agents. You draft the right rookies. You can make quick changes to your fortunes.
The Rams tanked the last 2 years in St. Louis. They tanked their first year in LA.
Yep.
And then they went forward. Who knows? I want to think he's doing the same thing. I want to think he's doing what Jimmy Johnson did with the Cowboys. I mean, having hope for Gruden is like wishing on a star.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. My only thing is usually in sports when you try to go back and capture past glory, it usually never works out. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing that concerns me. And every time we try to go back and capture something that was before, it just doesn't work out. And I wonder if we're doing the same thing again. I hope not. I mean, I ultimately hope it works out, but I'm concerned after this season.
We got our shot to do that last time, and we got the walrus. So let's hope for better results.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it. Come back next Monday.
All right, Commissioner, have a good one.
You too, my man. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Phone lines are open. We got 5 minutes of show left. If you want to jump in, phone line's on the bottom. Give me a call. Speak your mind. It's The Reaction, a sports call-in show with no boundaries. Rated MA, like everything else we do, for mature audiences only. It was a very interesting week. Back to the week that was. You had Jacksonville again falling to Indianapolis. Atlanta, man, what is Atlanta? Ever since the 28-3 debacle in the Super Bowl, what is Atlanta? They're a permanent fixture on the fucking kiddie table. That's what Atlanta is. So, I guess we should know. We should know how they react. And then Buffalo. Matt freaking Barkley. I mean, what the hell? This guy's at home sitting on the couch. He's like, sure, I can play some quarterback this weekend. And just lights up the Jets. It's like the best performance a Bills quarterback has had in a half in the last eon. It's insane. And, I mean, it is the Jets. But, we'll temper it a little bit. But still, the fact he comes out and they put up 41 points with a team that looked like they should be the worst team in football. The Bills have 3 times as many wins as us now, and that's just fucking pathetic. Washington, there was no Fitz magic from the Buccaneers in Tampa this week as they put up 3 points. Their kicker got the axe. He got cut. Bad news, bad news. The Cheatriots, man, they got absolutely freight trained. I don't know what's up with the Titans. The Titans in their ugly-ass uniforms, all of a sudden they're clicking. They look like a bunch of male nurses last week. And, god damn, their uniforms are ugly as hell. Get an identity and fucking stick with it. But they're on a roll. They look like they stand a chance to make something happen in the AFC South. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. Green Bay took down Miami because, come on, is Brock Osweiler really going to win? And the Rams just continue to keep trucking. And last night, Dallas takes down Philly. It was interesting. I don't know if any of you got a chance to check out the fight night from this weekend and got to see the awesome finish by Donald Cowboy Cerrone in the main event. Man, if you want to see a freaking jiu-jitsu clinic, go check that shit out. There's nothing like a sweet ass jiu-jitsu submission to in the night, and Cerrone brought his kid up in the cage. It was an awesome win. Yeah, and man, if you can go find the replay of that, check out there was a couple females fought. One of the bloodiest goddamn fights I've seen in a while. The poor female who lost got absolutely bloodied. It was a pretty good night fights for a fight night. But the Cerrone submission, that armbar was sick. Got to go check that out. It's a fight night, so the highlights should be around since it wasn't a pay-per-view, but they're trying to milk you for, $50 to $70 like they try to do every 2 weeks. UFC, you fucking leeches. Come on. Everybody streams that shit. I stream it. But nobody pays your shit. You might as well just drop the price. Back in the day, a UFC pay-per-view used to mean something because there was only one every month at most, so there was only 12 a year. Now you've got one twice a month. Every other week there's a UFC pay-per-view. And the cards are not that good all the time. They don't have the big-name fighters like they used to on every pay-per-view. And they still want to charge you the same. They're diluting their own product, and they should those intermediate ones, they should be free. You should only have the one big pay-per-view a month. I just think I think they're shoving too many of them out. They're shoving too many of them out there. But this is our new Monday show here on Raider Reaction. It's called The Reaction. All sports forum. Call-in show with no boundaries. It's rated MA, as all of our shows are. So call in, speak your mind every Monday right here, as we'll get into everything that went down the week prior. We'll have special guests, special call-in guests on every show. We did have one planned for tonight, but unfortunately he had an emergency. He texted me mid-show, had an emergency, wasn't able to make it on, but he will probably be on next week, as well as we'll have a couple other folks call in as well. We're going to have, I've got a special guest, formerly with ESPN, who's does a current morning show over in Dallas, and we've got some other guys from around the country that are going to be calling in as well, experts in different facets of sports. So, stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow night, as it is on every Tuesday, it's the Raider Nation Report. A solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black, and we'll get into everything Raiders tomorrow. Then, of course, Wednesday, drop back deep in the pocket with Prime, so we let it fly league-wide with Ghost to the Post. Thank you for joining me. As always, new and old. Glad you found us. Hope you enjoyed it. Our new show on Monday night. Tonight was the premiere of The Reaction. Hope you check it out every Monday. Just a little more open forum. All sports. And a chance for you to give your reaction as well. I will be back tomorrow with the Raider Nation Report. Until then,